I'm Chance, this is Line Racing, and this weekend we're gonna see if we can get this C10 I just picked up running. Now it is fairly decent. I mean, if you, look, let's just face it, it's kind of a piece of crap, but it's got good bones. I mean, the cab corners are rotted out, there is no bed and no rear end, but it's still, it's an 80s, I don't know what year, it's an 80 something C10, and these things are, they're going for a premium. Now I'm going to tell you the story of how I picked this thing up. This thing was listed for free on Facebook Marketplace. Yes, for free. Now I did not get it for free. I did have to pay $200 because I knew exactly what was going on in the guy's inbox. Whenever he put it up for free, he was getting hammered with messages. So I just said, hey man, I'll give you $200 for it just to cut it off. And he just sold it to me right then and there. So I bought this truck with engine and transmission for $200. So I didn't film the actual picking up of the truck because I did not have a lot of time, guys. It was an after work type of thing. A buddy of mine seen it for sale at lunch, and I started messaging the guy at lunch, and I had the deal done probably 20 minutes into messaging him. But me and my mom and my dad and my son and my daughter, for some reason we turned this into a family ordeal. We just run over here, scooped it up. Thankfully the front tires did roll pretty good. So I've got a 10,000 pound Smitty built, just a cheap winch, snatch block. It pulled right up. The only problem was this tire was down. It's actually on back of Tebow, also known as the most useful vehicle I have. It was blowed apart and delaminated, so I just cut it off the rim, and then I found a used tire at a local shop. It's an old dirt track tire, but it was the only thing they had in a 15-inch rim that would hold air, so I just threw it on here. As you can tell, the hood is destroyed. Now, crazy enough, it's not kinked. It didn't kink. The whole front rusted off of it. I don't really understand that. I've only ever seen it on one other vehicle, and it was like a Nova, so that's pretty crappy. But it has what I suspect is a 350. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I haven't had a lot of time to look at this thing, so I checked the oil, I looked at it, I seen that it didn't have a distributor, and the fuel pump was laying over here, so I picked up a distributor and a fuel pump, and that is it. I don't know if it rolls over pretty easy, I don't know nothing. This, what little bit I was told about this truck was that it had sat out in the woods for probably 20 something years. The person that I bought it from had picked it up, and I guess they started parting it out. It had a service body on it because it is a long bed. It had a service body on it. They pulled the service body off. They pulled the rear end out of it. I really don't know. Now, the interior, apart from, whew, God, apart apart from smelling like a dead rat, oh, whoa, that is, I gotta roll down the window. Oh, the windows are electric. Maybe I'll just leave the door open for a little while. Gosh, there has been a rat that has lived in this thing for a long time, and he has used every part and piece of this truck as a bathroom. Gosh, that's bad. The interior is fairly complete-ish. Where you would see rust, you know, there is some rust. It's not horrible, you know, it's kind of starting right there type of thing, but cab corners, yeah, well, they're shot. But I don't know if you can tell. You see that right there? That baby's got a set of keys in it. This is probably the first vehicle that I bought that came with a set of keys. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All in all though, the interior will clean up. The cab is in decent enough shape. You know, it could be better, but it's in pretty good shape. Look at the turds in this thing. Oh man, this carpet is getting pulled out of here so fast. Let's see if these keys are actually for this vehicle. Yeah. And I even got the door lock key. So that right there tells me it's pretty nice. We've got 87,638 miles. And by the looks of those pedals, I'm gonna say 287,000. That brake pedal was pretty wore out. I'm really hoping that I can just chunk a battery in this thing and get these windows to roll down. Okay, it looks like somebody wanted those terminals more than I did. They just cut them off. Before I can do anything at all to this truck, I have to get it off my trailer. So luckily enough, the guy I bought the truck from, the rear end was still sitting there. So I asked him, hey man, can the rear end be part of this deal? And he said, oh yeah, take it. I'm just trying to get all this crap out of my yard. So I actually do have the rear end for the truck. So I was in Utah last week working. On the way back from Utah, I had to go through Dallas. I stopped off at Summit Racing in Dallas and picked up some U-bolts and the straps for the drive shaft where it mates into the rear end. So I'm gonna try to chunk that rear end in, and hopefully with all the crap that I've torn apart over the years, I've got a drive shaft that's close enough, and I'll just extend it, and we might be able to run and get this thing running and driving. Hopefully get it running, really hopefully get it running and driving. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set you up on T-bow, and I'm gonna start backing it into the bay, and then we'll try to see if we can get the back end chalked up as much as we can. Now we got it unstrapped. Let's see if we can get this turd up high enough to put the rear end on the trailer. There's no film crews or people that help me. It is just me. So hopefully this engine hoist will get this rear end up high enough where I can chalk it up, because I still got to drag the rear end over here, pick it up, put it on the trailer, and get it underneath the leaf springs. Now I got to figure out how to chalk this mess up. I ain't got a dadgum jack stand that goes that high nowhere around. So this is what I got here. Very sketchily, I had put some jack stand extenders, also what I call my blocks that I do alignments on. I think that's going to give me just enough length to roll that rear end over here. Maybe. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close, but it's what I got. What I need to do right now is cut that crap off and get it out of the way so I can get this rear end over here and rolled up into place. Because what I didn't buy, because I couldn't find them, was the actual plates that go over top of the leaf springs that hold the U-bolts. Couldn't find any. They weren't there whenever I bought the truck. drive shaft wasn't there whenever I bought the truck. So I'm having to get creative here. It just is what it is. If you're gonna do this for any length of time, you're gonna have to get creative. Also, what the heck happened here? No, it's fine. So I got my Sawzall here, also known as my tire remover, because that's how I got that tire off the rim, because I didn't want to pay for them to take it off. So I just cut it off with a Sawzall. That's done. Let's get the engine crane out of the way and get the rear end rolled up over here and get it picked up. Okay. It's up there. Now we got to somehow figure out how to lower it down and re-rig and move it forward. Don't you do it. What I'm trying to do here is put it up in the pins and then push it against it. And then it can sit there until I make the actual brackets. I did it. Took a couple hits with the hammer, but the rear end is sitting back in its place. Now, with it being a little bit cockeyed, that jack stand is a little bit shorter than that jack stand, but it's in. And the biggest thing is I can now make the brackets that are going to hold the rear end to the leaf springs. Now, for some reason, I just noticed this. For some reason, there are no brackets for the shocks. I don't know why there's no brackets for the shocks. I don't know if I'm just dumb and don't see them, but I'm pretty sure they're not there. So we'll have to figure that out whenever we get to it. But as you can tell, night has come and night shift ain't started yet, meaning me is night shift and I've already worked all day, so I ain't got much more in me. But we're gonna be on this thing bright and early in the morning making brackets to hold this rear end in place, and then we'll get it off the truck and start the Willitrun process. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. You're late. I'm building brackets to hold the rear end in. It's a pretty basic template, guys. It's a square with 4 holes on the corners and 1 in the middle. I'd show you the template that I got, but my son basically made it for me. I'm gonna round these corners, drill some holes, and then we'll be ready to drop this turret on the ground. This is one of the simplest brackets you can make. I know how wide the U-bolt is. I know how wide the leaf spring is, so I just measure that out. And if you cut pretty square lines, you can just use a speed square. Boop, 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 boop. Get this side done, measure over, send it over with the speed square. Draw a line connecting that bolt to that bolt diagonally. Right in the middle is your center. Drill 5 holes. The one in the middle needs to be pretty dadgum big because the head of the bolt that holds the spring pad together, it's like pretty big. So it's simple. I would show you how to do it, but anybody can make a square and make it square-ish. Let's drill some holes. Oh my God. My drill's dead. Chuck is destroyed. Now I gotta go get my drill that I keep on my work truck to finish this bracket. Yeah, I keep my Milwaukee stuff on my work truck. Dang, she's bad. We got our completed bracket here. It's pretty warm, but U-bolts fit in pretty good. So now all we gotta do is make sure that center bolt hole is big enough for the leaf spring pack, and we're good. Fits on the whole leaf spring pack bolt pretty good. Get it up around the rear end. Shove it through. Oh, where's my nuts? One started. We'll get the other one started and get them tightened down here. So we got the jack stands moved out of the way. Let's lower it down on its own paws again. And the tires are flat. You gotta air them up now too. So we got it over here out of the way. Let's see if we can enlist the help of the wife to maybe push this piece of junk off of my trailer. That, or I'll use the Camaro to pull it. That, or I'll go get another vehicle from the front yard to pull it. Somehow it's coming off this trailer.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Don't get behind it, Levi.
Woo!
Magic.
Yeah, magic, all right. So the first step of this Willitrun process is going to be a little bit different than usual. Most of the time I'm pulling spark plugs and putting oil in, but I got to get the windows rolled down in this rig because I got to get this thing moved in the shade. Summertime has hit in South Alabama and it's hot, and I'm not working directly in the sun today. So I'm going to chuck a battery in here, and hopefully I can get the windows rolled down. Now, this morning I went to O'Reilly's and picked up the cheapest possible mechanical lugs that you can get, and we're going to just throw them on. And for this smaller gauge wire, you just take the little crimped part on top and just flip it around so you can get a little bit better of a bite. It's fine. It'll do exactly what we need for a long time. There we go, one done. Let's go for a smoke test here. Okay, we got nothing. It's either a good sign or a really bad sign. Fuel gauge does something. Oh, come on, please. Okay, that doesn't work. Maybe the other side works. Oh, of course. Maybe lights? Hey, yay. We got nothing in this truck. It's almost like there's no electricity reaching the inside of this truck. Perfect. Let's just pull the plugs out of it, get some oil in it, let it sit, see if it'll turn over, and then we'll go from there. We need to get a distributor in it anyways. I did enlist the help of the wife and the old T-bow to get this truck somewhere where I can work on it. Probably gonna take out my fence right here because I got both doors open. Old girl rolls pretty good. So the first step of this process is we got to start vacuuming this mess out. Oh, there's my distributor hold down and the bolt. Save that. We got to get some of the poop out of this vehicle because it smells rancid in here. Oh, I think I found his home. Oh. Cover up. Hold your breath. Don't breathe. Oh. Turds they're not good for you. I think I'm just gonna take a razor knife and we'll get some gloves, take a razor knife and just cut this carpet and rip it out of here and go throw it away. Now, any of y'all that have watched my channel for any amount of time know that cleaning out is not the first thing I do. Usually I'm getting the engine running, I'll jump in here, I don't care, deal with the smell. This thing is bad. I don't know if like whatever, there might still be an animal in here. Like it's that bad, like it's still actively peeing. I can't even open the doors, and if the doors have been shut for any amount of time and I just open it and walk up to it, it is bad. So I got to get this carpet out, maybe get some degreaser down, something to just counteract the pee. First things first, and we'll just try to clean some of the trash out of it, because if it does run, I will be sitting in here. Whoever owned this truck, you know, they were fairly clean. There's not a lot of crap in here. I think squirrels have been in here for the amount of nuts. I'm pretty sure rats eat acorns too. So it was somewhere where there was pecan trees. Let's vacuum the back of this seat. Oh, come on. Damn it. That's better. I'm just gonna vacuum out the sand, throw the carpet away, and then we'll jump on the spark plugs. All in all, floors are not great, but not horrible. They're still there. Somebody has, I don't know. I think somebody was trying to get this thing running or messing around with some crap, because that's not 20 years ago. Like I'm saying, I don't ever get the full stories, because I'm never buying vehicles that are from the original owners. They've always been through 10 or 15 people before I get my hands on them. All right, let's go ahead and start pulling these plugs out. It looks like there's a set of Bosch style plugs in the engine. Maybe it's been running in the past 10 years. I don't know. I know it's been off the road for a long time. Oh, I forgot to mention, this puppy's got long tubes. So let's see how bad the plugs are to get out. Not bad. Also, that wasn't even tight. Now, from what I can tell, these plugs have been in there a while for the rust around the plug itself, but it has been running. And it is pretty rich, but all the cylinders look to be exactly the same. So in my book, that's good. So I'm going to get some oil down in the cylinders, and while that's cooking, I'm going to be cleaning the plugs up and things like that, and that'll give it enough time to hopefully it'll, you know, be free-ish. And then I'll start spinning the engine over, get it on top dead center, drop in the distributor. Now what I'm shooting down these cylinders is Old Faithful Marvel Mystery Oil. It says it improves compression power and miles per gallon. I just want the compression. I could give a crap about the other ones. Drink up. So to clean up these plugs, I'm just gonna send them for a turn on the old cinch grinder wire wheel. Something like that. Now that they've all had their shot with the wire wheel, we just clean them up with a little bit of brake clean. And we'll probably do 3 at a time. That's it. Now, these are platinum plugs. Pretty sure HEI style distributors really like the old school copper style plugs. So these are probably not the best plug to run, but they will produce a spark. And I'm not buying a set of plugs for an engine that I have no clue about. I've already bought too much as it is. If anything, I have a set of plugs that I can throw in it if need be, but we're not spending much money on this rig because we're not in it for a lot of money. So if we can get it running for cheap, we'll assess and put it on the list of things, of projects that I need to do, which is growing exponentially. Just gonna check the gap. They're all somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 thousandths, which is perfect for an HEI style distributor. We're gonna call that good. Now, to show you the distributor that I'm gonna be going in. This is what I picked up for this rig. Blew the budget a little bit. This distributor is half the price of the truck. Maybe almost the price of the truck. It's not some really cheap eBay style distributor. It is an actual sale. HEI. I mean, as many Chevys that I have around here, I figured I might as well spend a little bit of money on a distributor. So if this thing turns out to be a dud, I can pull it out, put it in something different. Let's go find top dead center and just this thing down in the engine. Dang it, second attempt. Got a deep well 5/8 socket on a ratchet. Let's see. Oh. Yes. See if we can make it a round or two. It's a little tight, but it's spinning. And my Marvel Mystery Oil is pouring out. Good sign. Alright, I got my finger plugger. 3,000. Alright. That's compression stroke on number 1. It was trying to shove my finger out. Can't really tell the 0 mark on the timing cover, but we're in the ballpark. So we can drop our distributor in pointing at number 1 and we'll at least be close enough to fire. I cleaned up the marker just a little bit and it says I'm sitting at about 6 degrees before top dead center, which is fine. I usually like to set them about 12 degrees before top dead center. I think that's what a small block Chevy calls for. Now, I don't want to put this thing in dry. I'm not even going to touch that, so y'all don't either. We'll put a little bit of grease. Probably not the best thing for it, but it's better than absolutely nothing. It'll hold on, first start up, things like that. So we're going to clean off the spot where the distributor goes in as best we can for the gasket on the bottom of the distributor. Give it the best chance it can. Point it at number 1. This might take a couple shots here. There you go. It's in there. We've got it pointing pretty close to number 1. Now we just need to figure out where the cap's gonna sit. So we're gonna make this number 1. Pretty decent range of motion. You know, we can turn this maybe a good bit to dial the timing in, so I'm happy with that. We're gonna line it up as best we can with that mark. Tighten it out. Hold down is in tight-ish. We still want to be able to rotate this thing some. We can't just crank her down because we're gonna be playing with the timing. Now, let's see if we can get a drive shaft in it. Maybe drop a couple extra quarts of ATF in it because I know it spilled some out. That way we can turn this puppy over and not risk the transmission. Now this is one of the drive shafts I have. It is not the longest, but it looks to be the easiest to modify and the one that I would be willing to modify. I don't know what type of transmission that is. It should be for a Chevy, which is all that matters. There you go. And it's short, like really short. Yeah, it's pretty short. Let's see if it'll at least fit in the yoke of the rear end. And if it'll fit in the yoke of the rear end, I'll cut it and just put a piece of metal in its place tomorrow or something. I'll have to find a piece of pipe that's about that diameter. Perfect. Every drive shaft I have, the U-joints are too big to fit in that yoke. I would think it'd be a 1330, not like a 1310 or something. I'll have to do some research because I know these, heck, they might be 1350s. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually, but for now, the transmission is plugged. I can pour a quart or two. If it spins here on the ground a little bit, so be it. All right, so I'll put the battery back in it. Now, I throw a fuel pump in it. Also what I like to call a very expensive plug. Distributors in it. I poured 2 quarts of ATF in the transmission just to make sure if it was a little low, it has something to chew on, even though we know it's not going to work because it's about 3 feet too short. Now, I would love for this to work off the key, but we know it's not. Maybe if we just keep hitting it, it'll just magically start working. Dang it. The battery gauge isn't even working. I know we got a hot battery on it. This thing has some wiring gremlins. All right, let's trace down the circuit that goes to the starter, and we'll put my little clicker on it. First thing, we'll look over here, see how much this mess has been cut into, and it looks tapped into a little bit, but not horrible. Let's check on the back of the alternator. I know majority of those wires go to. All that looks good too. I don't know. We're just gonna crawl underneath it, put our clicky clack on the starter, and see if we can get it to turn over. All right, now I gotta crawl around in the dirt. All right, I have attached my trigger to the starter. Now, Let's see if it'll run. Oh, baby. That's a pretty good starter right there. She is turning and burning. Let's do it again. Oh yeah, let's throw some plugs in it now. Get us the old jumper wire to that HEI, and let's see if we can get some fire going. Nothing ever changes around here. I'm only gonna show you me putting in the easiest spark plug to get to. Because guess what? I'm still the editor. Still the financier. Still the talent. The labor. There. All of it. And if you're watching this, you know how to put spark plugs in a vehicle, and I'm not showing you nothing special. Now, I'd love to tell you I just went and grabbed a set of spark plug wires for this truck from the parts store, but that'd be a lie. I just went and grabbed every spark plug wire I got in the shop, and we'll make something work. I mean, they all come off vehicles that were running, so they got to make this one run at least, right? Let's just chunk them on here. We'll see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen? We got all our spark plugs on. Now, if you don't know small block Chevy's firing order, come on now. 1-843-6572. That's it. You set your distributor up at 1, and you just follow that around. Let's listen at this turd under compression. See if she's got a gallop. Let's just see what she sounds like. That's a good sounding engine. Every cylinder sounds almost exactly the same. Usually you'll hear a so that's a good sign. This puppy might run. Y'all already know the drill. Jumper wire on the HEI, gas down the neck. Let's see if she'll fire. Now y'all know I only give mine the best. Husqvarna 2-cycle engine oil and 87. I'm about out, so I'm gonna have to make some more after this, but we'll see if she'll run off of it. Put a little down the gap, a little down the vent. Go ahead and put way too much in, and let's just see. She tried to spark off. Listen at her idle. Yes! I gotta make some more gas, and we're gonna let her idle a little bit longer. She'll probably like it. So now that we know that it does idle, let's start pulling out some of these vacuum leaks. That looks like once upon a time it went to a distributor. So let's make it go back to a distributor. Oh. There we go. Distributor now has vacuum advance. That's plugged. That's plugged. I don't see anything else. Just refilled my Husqvarna 2-cycle engine oil. Let's go ahead and fill the vent again, and then we'll see if it'll hold idle for a little bit longer. Probably roll the key forward, put a belt on it, and see if it'll turn that alternator. Maybe, and just maybe, we'll bring the electrical system around. Probably not. It's probably chewed in half, but you know, one can hope. Pump shot. All right, we're hot. Ignition on. Nothing. A little bit of a backfire. So I've made the executive decision to not deal with this crappy carburetor that has been on here for I don't know how long. I don't know the condition of it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've never had good luck rebuilding a quadrijet. So I have one on the shelf that was given to me, and it come off a perfectly running and driving vehicle, and I'm going to use it in place of this. All right, so we just got the carburetor changed. It should run fairly decent. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a timing light on it because I cannot run it for very long until I get a fuel system on it. So I'm just going to fill the bowls, which are already done. The bowls are already full. I'm just going to run it and try to set the timing real quick, so that way whenever I do plug up a fuel system, it'll just run smooth.
Go this way. Go this way. Levi, walk this way.
Walk this way.
Now run by really fast. Run. Run. No, other way. Levi, this way.
So I put a belt on the water pump and the alternator. I don't think the alternator is going to run, but what I'm trying to do here is just let it idle. I just want to let it idle, let it come up to some type of temperature, and then we're going to drop the oil out of it and change it. I probably flooded it because I'm just pouring into the vent, so probably a little bit more gas than it needed, but we'll get it running here and keep it running for a little while and see if we can bring it up to temp. Alright, so I'll rig this up a fuel system here. Just feeding out of the jug, using our brand new fuel pump that is almost leaking everywhere. As soon as it starts to return, it starts to leak. So I need to shut it down and put a clamp on it. Perfect. Found a clamp on the ground. Should work fine. That's a happy engine. That's a happy engine. It'd be nice if it was charging right now, but I know it's not. The belt that I put on there, it's running the water pump. Is it the right size belt? Absolutely not, but it's making the water pump go round and round, so works fine for me. Let's see if the power steering works. Oh baby, that's one finger power steering. Oh, that's one finger power steering. We're a drive shaft away from having a runner here. Nice. Now I have no idea what the oil pressure's doing, the water temp's doing. None of the gauges work. But in my opinion, if it didn't have oil pressure, it'd have locked up by now. So we're gonna go with the idea that it has oil pressure. Just gonna let it idle. We're starting to get some temperature in this upper hose. Gonna let it run for a little bit and drop the oil out of it. It might be healing. The oil pressure gauge come up, or it's always red there. I don't know. Good running engine, boys and girls. It's almost made it to the point where I can't touch the upper hose, so whenever it makes it to that point, I'll shut her down. I'll say this, it's only pumping just a little bit of smoke out of the oil field tube. For an engine that's sat for all these years, that's pretty good news. It's not sitting here just billowing out smoke, you know? I mean, it's got a little bit of blow by, but an engine that hasn't run for this long, I suspect it.
Oh, look at him working hard over there. Working hard or hardly working?
Extreme oil change. But I mean, I did pull that fram out, so it can't hurt anybody ever again.
He could have put some air in that tire to give himself maybe a little more headroom, but
no.
He likes it on hard mode. Will it run?
It's just... Hold up, son. All right. Oh, hold up. This thing's out of gas.
I know what the problem is with it. It ain't got no gas in it.
I don't remember now. It's out of gas.
You know, this is how you know things are going real well over here. This guy's got 5 whole gallons of gasoline.
Oh.
And he can spray it on the ground. This guy's got so much gas, he doesn't even care what happens to it.
Yeah, I know. It's only like $8 a gallon right now, too.
Gonna need to like and subscribe so we can pay for more gas to put in this thing. He's gonna run it on fumes.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. It's amazing what a car will do with fuel.
Yeah. Well, that is going to do it for tonight. I'll be back on it tomorrow. We still have to figure out the drive shaft situation. Carburetor, it runs great. I mean, this is a great running engine. Now, the only thing that has me somewhat confused, why isn't there a cable that goes down to the transmission? I ain't figured that one out yet. It should be there. From the look at the oil pan, I think it's a Turbo 400. So there should be a cable that goes down to the transmission. So we're gonna be back tomorrow. I've got to figure out this drive shaft situation. Like I said, it's about 2 foot too short, and I don't even have close to the right straps for that rear end. So we'll see. I'll see you in the morning. We are back for day 2, 3, 4, don't know. So I've got the drive shaft over here cooking. I'm trying to heat out all that nylon out of it so I can knock the U-joint out. I did figure out what type of U-joint is in the rear end. It is a 1310, which makes 0 sense to me. So I had to go 3R to 1310 combination. Thankfully O'Reilly's had it. Now, while we're waiting on that drive shaft to cook, I figured I might need to look in this rear end. As you can see, it's kind of leaking a little bit, and the oil, it looks a little watery. So let's pop these last 2 bolts out and knock it out of the way. Yeah, it's had a fair bit of water in it, as you can tell from the top. It's rusted, but that's fine. We'll knock all this goop off, clean a little bit of the rust out, brake clean out the inside of the pumpkin, and shove some more fluid in there. Scraping off old gaskets with a razor blade. So this rear end housing's pretty pitted. So we're gonna give it ample time for this goop to tack up and dry before we just slam oil in it, because I still have to rebuild the drive shaft. So with me having to do all of that, that should give this RTB plenty time to tack up a little bit and seal. I thought it was gonna put up a little bit more of a fight, but it didn't. I sat here and let it heat for a while. I'll show you what it did. So I got a pretty big socket underneath it. Just put another socket on top of it, and just one quick hit with this 4-pound hammer and it popped right out. So let's install the new one. First we need to clean up the inside of these races for the new U-joint. So what I'm doing here is all the nylon that didn't come out, I'm having to dig it out with a screwdriver. It's supposed to all just come flying out once you heat up the actual surface that the U-joint slides into. It's supposed to push its way out, but whenever they get old, sometimes they don't do it, and you got to really heat them and get them expanded, and then knock them out, and then dig the crap out, and that's what I'm having to do. There you go. Now we'll just hit it with the little wire wheel. And we're ready for a new U-joint. And just like that, we have a U-joint installed. I would have had a video, but I had my GoPro set to picture mode, so I took a picture. So it's not that difficult, guys. Just squeeze it with a vise. Whenever you get real close, get a socket, hit it with a hammer, it'll seat in. And then since this is a 3R style, you have the clips that go on the inside that retains your U-joint from walking out. And that's basically it. I put the greaser towards the diff. I'm thinking it might be easier to grease that way. I don't know, we'll see. If not, guess what, I don't care. So this is what I've got going on here. I got my chop saw and I'm about to cut this drive shaft in half and extend it. Now all I have to extend it with is a piece of exhaust pipe. Probably not the best thing to make a drive shaft out of, but it's what I got. This is not going to be on the road, it's just tooling around in the yard. It'll do that. Now I measured cap to cap, 49 inches. I shoved it in the truck, backed it out about an inch from the transmission, and got a measurement from where it was to where it needed to be, which come out to be another 16.5 inches. So we're going to add 16.5 to the 49 to give us our overall length. I scribed a line all the way down. That's to make sure that the joints somewhat stay in phase. If they're a little bit off, I do not care. Like I said, this is not the end all be all. This is just to finish the video. This is YouTube stuff. So I put this piece of angle in here to keep it true as best as I can, and my phase angle line is right on this corner. So I'm going to go for a couple tacks here and try to probably do a little test fit and then put it back in the jig and finish weld it out. This has some wiggle to it, but like I said, I think it's going to be perfectly fine for what we're doing. Alright, we're in the rear end. Let me crawl underneath the truck and check the plunge into the transmission. Oh yeah, we're pretty good. That wear mark is where the old one used to ride, and I'm pretty sure we have another good bit in. Yeah, we've got a good bit in and back out. We're gonna weld it and send it, folks. There you go. That's about as quick and dirty and as good as I can do with a little bit of time I have to build a drive shaft this quick. It's in. It will make the rear end go around and round if the transmission's good. I'm pretty sure it's okay, I guess. Let's chunk it in, get the truck fired up, check the ATF, and then shove it down in gear and hopefully not run into the house. All right, so I have my NASCAR approved fuel system in. That way, if I run into
I thought
something,
you said
it just
wrong.
burns down, and then I don't have to work on it anymore.
He said it doesn't have any brakes.
Just threw a quick breather on it. It's got a filter. Y'all, this thing runs too nice to just let sit out open and chew on whatever. So I'm kind of half butt creating a ignition system here. So I've got this white wire that runs in the cab. This wire goes to the HEI. I just kind of twisted and taped the blue wire to it. And what I'm gonna do is, because I ain't got no brakes. There is no brakes. I tried to break free the master cylinder. She is froze up tight. So gonna be an order coming from Rock Auto real soon. I'm gonna put brakes on this rig. It runs too good not to. So we're gonna run this over here, and I'm gonna tie them together right there on the shifter column. And that way, if something happens and it's like, oh crap, I'm gonna crash, I'll just pull them apart and it'll at least kill the engine. So we'll just close them wires in the door. There we go, that's perfect. Now, we'll strip them, tie them together, and see if she'll run. That tire just goes flat. It's got about a 5-minute lifespan and it goes flat. And then we'll just tie them together. HEI should be hot. Make sure we're in park here. And now we should just be able to squeeze on that trigger and she'll fire. There we go. There's an ignition system. Now, I'm gonna air up the tire, get everything ready, and we're gonna go for a little voyage around the yard. Oh, too fast. We can stay like this, we'll just put around the yard. Maybe hit it once or twice. A little bit of a backfire. That carburetor's probably still not very happy. Like I said, it has been on the shelf for forever. But power steering, I mean, just a beauty of a truck. I need to put some shocks in the rear end. Let's do a quick test and see if it's charging. I don't know. I mean, I would think this battery would have died by now, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do here is keep my wire that's going to my ignition attached to the lug, and that'll keep the HEI hot. And if it stays running whenever I pull this off, the alternator's running. There you go. That means the alternator's charging. I don't know how good the alternator's doing, but it's charging. It's at least doing good enough to keep the truck running, which is better than nothing. Let's drive it around a little bit more here. Just get a feel for it. Y'all, this is a good running little truck for 200 bucks. I mean, you can't ask for more than this right here. It'll spin them. We're just going to use T-Bow as a brake, because I don't have one. Neutral. we have the truck parked back in its spot. I'm going to keep this vehicle. My wife is mad at me, but I'm gonna keep it. Where can you get a $200 vehicle that drives around in the yard? Yes, I know it needs a drive shaft and a couple other things, but I mean, I got a welding machine and I can read a tape measure. So eventually I will shorten the truck. It will be a short bed. I'm not gonna keep it a long bed. But this thing runs great, drives around in the yard. The transmission seems to act pretty good. Now, I don't know where the kick down cable is. There's gonna have to be a little bit more investigation. It needs brakes on all 4 corners. Probably needs a couple hoses because it looks like somebody gnawed that one off. But this is a good truck, y'all. 200 bucks, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat it. Now, y'all comment down below. Y'all let me know what you want to see next. If I'd imagine, I mean, the electrical system probably needs to be adjusted. So a couple of y'all comment that. It'll help my algorithm out, or whatever the heck you want to call it. It is what it is. Needs a hood, needs a couple other things. But that's gonna do it for this video. I'll see y'all next weekend and I'll be tearing into something else. I appreciate you for watching. See you soon.